Disgraced former Congressman George Anthony Qatar-Ravash Zabrowski-DeVolder Santos was sentenced to 87 months in prison.
I plan to serve the entirety of any incarceratory sentence in solitary confinement because I fear for my safety. So it is definitely not an easy task, and it's a monumental one to do. But
are you allowed to ask for that? I've never heard of someone asking for solitary confinement before.
I'm allowed to make an application for protected custody because of who I am.
Oh God, give me a break with the oh woe is me bullshit. This is MAGA victimhood 101. And then, in the least surprising twist since The Bachelor ended in heartbreak, Santos sobbed in court and then immediately hinted at asking Donald Trump for a pardon. Welcome back to the possibly, maybe, but probably not the final edition of Who the F is George Santos? Here is Santos's public plea to Donald Trump. This is the hardest statement I have ever written. Blah, blah, blah. When I pled guilty, I did so without reservation.
Sounds like a drama queen.
I cannot rewrite the past, but I can control the road ahead. Did you notice how he didn't say that he regrets his actions or that he would take it back or hell, that he would change his ways? That's because George Santos would absolutely 100% steal, grift, and con people again if given the chance. Let me just say this one more time for the people in the back. Santos will scam and grift people again. He's just like convicted fraudster Billy McFarland, you know, the genius behind Fyre Fest, who got out of prison, owed people millions, and then immediately announced that he was doing Fyre Fest 2, only to scam people again. And guess what? McFarland helped Trump during his 2024 campaign.
Shocker.
Honestly, at this point, the only requirement to get into Trump's circle is having at least one felony and zero shame. Santos basically went from, "I'm sorry I got caught, Your Honor," to, "Please, Daddy Trump, can you pardon me?" in record time. And if you recall, Santos attended Trump's indictment in Manhattan for what I assume was moral support, but also more like, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And by back, I mean a pardon.
I'm doing nothing. I'm leaving.
Are you coming back at all later today?
No, because you guys make it unbearable to be here.
Why are you here then?
I came to support the president.
Sorry, what I forgot to mention was that Santos only stayed for about 10 minutes. He ended up running away and crying, but that's neither here nor there. But if I really had to assess the possibility of a pardon, sobbing Santos might actually get it. Now, the reason I believe that is because of Trump's deep sense of solidarity with the absolute worst people in this country. So if a grifter, con artist, or scammer rips people off for personal gain, you can absolutely bet that Donald Trump will stand by their side, or at the very least, fire off a truth on his failing social media site. But hey, Trump only knows and works with the best people, right?
We're going to make America great again. We're going to use our best people.
I'm going to get the best people.
We're going to deliver. We're going to get the best people in the world.
We don't want people that are B level, C level, D level. We have to get our absolute best.
We're going to use our smartest and our best. We're not using political hacks anymore.
It's a sophisticated chess match, but I have the best people lined up. You need people that are truly, truly capable. We have to get the best people.
And the chances of Santos's plea actually being heard? Well, it got a lot greater when 2 days prior to his sentencing, Trump gave Michelle Fiore a full and unconditional pardon after she was found guilty of defrauding donors. Fiore raised more than $70,000 for a statue honoring a fallen Las Vegas police officer, and she spent it on cosmetic surgery, rent, and her daughter's wedding. Now, despite sobbing Santos and his lame apology, Judge Joanna Siebert didn't exactly buy his crocodile tears, asking him, "Where is the remorse?" Siebert said that she doesn't like sending people to jail, but Santos was fully deserving of the lengthy sentence, and according to Santos' own words, he deserves it.
He died, yeah, sure. I don't believe in killing people. I believe in putting them through the criminal justice system and making them pay for their crimes. I get a lot of pleasure in seeing people pay for their crimes in jail, not putting them on a chair or giving them a shot, because that's the easy way out. The hard way is live old. Live old and strip from all your privileges and luxuries in a jail cell. That's real torture. That's the purgatory. That's where people really suffer. When you kill them, you gave them the easy way out.
Well, that aged poorly. Judge Siebert then handed Santos a 7-year prison sentence, nearly $374,000 in restitution, and another $200,000 in forfeiture.
Federal prosecutors urged the judge to hand down a heavy sentence because of Santos's, quote, unparalleled crimes. Santos pleaded guilty in August to identity theft and wire fraud charges. At the time, he agreed to pay nearly $600,000 in restitution and forfeiture. The judge ordered Santos to surrender by July the 25th.
But let's rewind the timeline a little bit, shall we? Santos, once the GOP's favorite surprise in flipping New York's 3rd District in 2022, lied about, well, everything. He lied about every bit of his education, lied about his job history, lied about being Jewish. I mean
Jew-ish, as in ish.
Lied about stealing money from an elderly man in Brazil, personally lied to me about taking a plea deal for said crime. He lied about almost getting assassinated, lied about working at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, lied about running a fake animal charity. Also, according to people who interacted with this scam, several dogs went missing under Santos's watch, and Santos refused to answer any of my questions about it. He actually threatened me with physical violence, so there's that, I guess. At this point, the only thing that Santos was ever truthful about was being a pathological liar, and even then, prosecutors say he wasn't being honest about that either. So here's a quick refresher of Santos's crimes: wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, campaign finance violations, and swindled elderly donors suffering from cognitive impairments.
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your...
No, not that elderly guy suffering from cognitive issues.
And by the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical exam, and I got the highest mark, and one of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anybody get that kind of... That was the highest mark."
Sure, Jan.
Remember when I said this was similar to MAGA Mayor Michelle Fiore? Santos' scams funded luxury designer goods, trips to Vegas and the Hamptons, cosmetic treatments, and even a subscription to OnlyFans. At this point, Santos was less a politician and more like if Anna Delvey got a seat in Congress. After mounting scandals, a damning House Ethics Committee report, and bipartisan outrage, Santos was finally expelled from Congress in December 2023. When I started my show, What Was That?, it felt like I was navigating everything solo: writing scripts, setting up, planning filming schedules, designing assets. It was incredibly overwhelming, and each day brought new decisions that demanded immediate answers. When you're starting off with something new, it seems like your to-do list keeps growing every day with new tasks, and that list can easily begin to overrun your life. Finding the right tool that not only helps you out but simplifies everything can be such a game changer. And for millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands like MeidasTouch. Get started with your own design studio. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Gabe. Go to shopify.com/Gabe. Shopify.com/Gabe. After being expelled, Santos was so desperate for money that he started cranking out cameos without even knowing who was requesting them, including comedian Jimmy Kimmel.
Disgraced former Congressman George Santos, who has a new gig, making videos on Cameo for $400 a pop, which is a dilemma because on one hand, you hate to give money to a guy like George Santos, but on the other, pretty good chance he has your credit card information already. I didn't say they're from me. I just wrote them and sent them to find out, will Santos say it, okay? So... George, please congratulate my mom, Brenda, on the successful cloning of her beloved Schnauzer, Adolf. She and Dr. Houndschnaufer went through a lot of dogs in the trial runs, but they finally got it to stick. Tell her to give Adolf a big belly rub for me. Will Santos say it?
Hey, Brenda. I wanted to congratulate you on successfully cloning your beloved Schnauzer, Adolf. I know it was a lot of trials and tribulations, but you finally did it. Now you get to enjoy Adolf and be happy. So give him a belly rub for me. Mwah.
With the money he made, Santos bought himself veneers, designer clothes, and absolutely zero dignity. And then after he burned through that money, it somehow got even more pathetic. Santos started making cringy cameos as his drag persona, Katara Ravache. You know, the one that he constantly denied was ever him.
Not a drag queen in Brazil, guys. Hey, you messy bitches. So, Katara is coming out of the closet after 18 years.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And then, just recently, Santos delivered the worst news possible. He was shutting down his Cameo. No! In a tweet, Santos said, To my supporters on Cameo, thank you for the amazing reception over the last 16 months. Together, we broke several glass ceilings. Wait, what is he talking about? What glass ceilings? Georgie, buddy, you made up your college degree, your job history, your volleyball career, and even your drag name. I mean, let's be real, the only thing you've broken is reality. Santos continued by saying, with your support, we hold most of the records of the app, and for that, thank you. I have disabled the ability to make new requests as I am unsure if I will be able to fulfill them in recent days. No shit, you think? But just when you thought this saga couldn't get any more ridiculous, Donald Trump's childhood friend, David Rem, decided to jump in.
I understand. Everybody's human. Everybody made mistakes, okay? But even George Santos he didn't deserve more than two years in jail.
How do you know him?
I'm friends of his.
Campaign.
I'm his friends.
You were on his campaign?
And I still say, please, President Trump is very shrewd. He's a genius. But anyway, he's a compassionate man. I hear some laughter back there. He won the most landslide election, 313 electoral college votes.
When did you speak to Santos last?
And also the popular vote. And I believe that Donald Trump will commute his sentence.
Why?
And he should. I love you, President Trump.
For January 6th.
What's your name?
David Rem. Davidrem.
What do you talk to Santos about?
I am a friend.
What do you talk to him about just now?
I talked to him to keep his head up and that he'll be fine. And
how did he seem?
He seemed in very good spirits. Very, very good spirits.
He didn't look like he was in good spirits inside.
Well, I mean, if you were pronounced a sentence of 87 months, you wouldn't look like that at the moment either. But he's a very strong person. George is a very, very strong person and a very, very genuine, nice person. People don't really know who the real George Santos is.
David, what's your message to the president? Isn't that the problem?
My message to the president is, I would beg you to commute George Santos' sentence. I know a pardon might be politically incorrect.
While I was on trial.
I also have a presidential pardon in, and at this point I will say to Donald Trump, if you can only give one, give my pardon to George Santos, or commute George Santos' sentence.
Rem, by the way, pleaded guilty in 1991 to leaving a suitcase with 18 kilograms of cocaine on a train leaving from Los Angeles to Chicago.
Yikes.
Meanwhile, sobbing Santos has until July 25th to turn himself in. Time will tell if he gets a pardon or shows up for his date, or if he tries to invent a new identity before then. Thanks for watching. If you want to support my work on What Was That, the best way is by becoming a paid subscriber at whatwasthat.show. It's fully independent, no corporate backing, no team, just me running this one-man show. You'll get exclusive episodes, deep dive breakdowns, and articles you won't find anywhere else. That's whatwasthat.show. Prefer to listen while you're on the go? What Was That is available on all major podcast platforms. Apple, Spotify, you name it. Until next time, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?